Welcome to Santa's MLS Tech Workshops, where we'll be going over ways on how to better your business. In this tutorial, Marie Leduc will be going over how to set up and customize your brand and share option.
All right, so I wanted to talk about your brand, right? And like I've mentioned, one of the two key features that you have access to when it comes to your brand is brand and share. And brand and share, well, the first thing it allows you to do is to customize the experience you offer through MLS-Touch. All you have to do is simply submit a logo and choose the colors you wish through its settings. And everything you share through MLS-Touch will be using this branding. So you're looking at, for instance, the listing details of a property when somebody's looking at it on their smartphone. And that's they're branded with blues and grays because that's my branding. I'm with the Blue Ocean Real Estate, and those are our official colors. So I do think it's really important that you do set this up immediately if you want to make sure that everything you share reflects your brand. And that's why I want to demonstrate where that's done, and hopefully all of you can follow along, or at least follow on my screen if you cannot. So I'm sorry, I keep on having to switch back and forth from one screen to another just to be able to demonstrate this clearly. So let me just bring back my phone screen. Here you go, to show you how that's done. So to set up your logo and colors, first go into the More menu to find the brand and share feature. It should be one of the buttons there. You definitely all have access to this feature, compliments of High Central MLS. So brand and share is one of the first few buttons under the More menu of your app. I already told you what brand and share is about, so let's just press the continue button because that's what these slides were supposed to be for. But I think I did a good job of explaining what it is. And here, it's with this screen here that you'll be able to upload your logo and select 3 colors so that your branding is set. One thing I want to point out, and this may prevent some of you from accomplishing this during this workshop, is that the logo needs to be in the photo album or photo gallery of your device, so to be able to pick it, to select it. So keep that in mind. You will not be able to save your branding until both your logo and colors are submitted. That's super important. And some of you are asking me, what if my logo is square, not rectangle? Well, unfortunately, I'll show you a few examples of where the logo fits. Its position is sort of like a banner, a header. So it does have to be rectangle. So if some of you, because I know Melia and a few others have said, well, I don't have a logo that's rectangle, it's square. Well, then you may need to adjust it, right? You may need to either yourself or ask somebody that you know in your surrounding that has the skills to modify your logo so that it fits as a nice rectangle. You can also contact our support team if you need assistance. We don't have a graphic design department at your disposal, but they may be able to give you hints or pointers to do this efficiently yourself if you're not too sure how to go about it. But if you do have your logo ready to go on your smartphone or tablet, then just press the select logo button at the top right. It will prompt you to access your photo album or photo gallery, and then you'll be able to pick from the images available there. And on my end, I do have a graphic designer friend that created a bunch of variations of my logo. And just as a pick me up, I think I'm going to switch to my Christmas version of my logo because I think we do need a pick me up lately. So here you go. And for those of you who are wondering what's the exact recommended size, well, it actually tells you on this particular screen. Maybe some of you will ask a graphic designer friend or a partner to create you a logo that fits correctly. Well, the size is 400 by 100 pixels. You can see it on that screen here. And one thing though, you still have the means, even if you're not able to change your logo, of maybe tweaking the existing one you have access to. Use your fingers to zoom in or zoom out, right? To make your picture bigger or smaller. And as long as it fits in the rectangle, or what matters fits in the rectangle, that's all that matters. Keep in mind that anything that's outside of that rectangle in the center, let me just move my image aside just to make it clearer. Anything outside of that rectangle will be cut off. So keep that in mind. Anyways, okay, there you go. So mine, I did it on purpose. It's perfect size. So I'm just going to press done. And there you go. My new logo is set. And for colors, we'll just press the colored circles and use the color selection tool that's there at your disposal to land on the perfect color you desire. Like in my case, maybe I'll change the dark blue to something a bit blue, more bluish and less dark. Here you go, done. And don't forget to press the apply colors and logo button that's at the bottom, because that's the way to save. If you don't press on that button, your selection will be lost if you leave and it's not saved. So keep that in mind again. And like I've mentioned earlier, I want to repeat it just because I know some of you may encounter that issue. You need to have both the logo and colors set for you to be able to save. If you're missing either of them, you will not be able to save and take advantage of that branding. So so knowing that, some of you may need to set this up later if you don't have your logo. So anyways, there. So that's your branding. So and you know what? There's another thing that might be important for you to do as well, and it's to make sure that your contact details and your agent photo are up to date on the MLS. Because anytime you send out something through MLS-Touch, you'll be clearly identified. Not only will it use the branding that we've just talked about, but it will also add your contact details and your agent photo as they show in the roster of the High Central MLS. One easy way to check if your contact details and your photo are up to date through MLS-Touch is the following. I'm encouraging you again to follow along, just so that you can check right now with me if your contact details are up to date. The easiest way is to just look yourself up in the members directory through the members directory feature of MLS-Touch, which can also be found under the More menu. So I'm going back under the More menu in the bottom right. And next I'm going to choose Find Member. And I'm not an official High Central member, so I'm not going to look myself up, but you guys are. So just use the search bar at the top and type in your name. In my case, I'm just going to pull up a random agent here. Douglas Smith, are you among us? If so, we're looking you up on my screen anyways. So look yourself up, press on your name, and verify that your contact details and your photo are there. That's the best way to test this. And if you notice that your contact details or photo are not up to date, then, and hopefully Ed, Michael, and Jennifer can confirm, do not hesitate to contact your MLS so they can assist you, since these items are pulled from your MLS directly.
That's right. So those come from your, so make sure you update your profiles, and we'll make sure that those get to MLS-Touch. And I just want to underscore, this seems like a little thing when you think about all the technology that goes into mapping and picking your logo and all this other stuff. But sometimes being able to find Doug Smith's, contact information, his mobile phone right there, that can be the difference between getting the deal and losing the deal. So I don't mean to cast aspersions on Doug specifically. I'm just saying, when you're looking for another agent, being able to find them is a big deal. We have a couple questions in the chat box. Is now a good time to ask them, Marie?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So what if your logo is square, not rectangular? I heard you say enlist the help of a partner or graphic design friend to help you kind of get those dimensions right. I use a product called GIMP, which is a free openware Windows-based software. Your Windows or your Mac machine can do something similar. And again, I'd ask that you work with them on doing all that.
And by the way, just to touch back on that though, I mean, you can still submit a square logo, but keep in mind that again, of the space, it's going to be that's reserved for the logo. It's sort of like a banner, so it will resize your logo to the point where it may be a bit too small, right, to make as much of an impact as if it was a full on rectangle image, right? It will resize it. It won't necessarily be the best, but you can still, like, for instance, submit your logo, even if it's a square one, submit it anyways, Malia, because I think it was Malia that asked that question. And later on, if you do end up being able to rework your logo to have like a rectangle version of it, then you can easily replace it. This branding is not set in stone. It can be updated whenever you want, as often as you want. Of course, make sure to comply with the rules and regulations when it comes to branding that your brokerage has you following. But that's the beauty of MLS-Touch, right? Even if you change brokerage, right, you can just quickly update your branding and then you're good to go, right? Everybody still knows who you are, and everything is updated.
Still on the branding bandwagon here, Marie. Ava asks, is there a way to put in a color code? So, you know, we use the hex or whatever in the web world. Is there a place to put in the hex code for a color?
So at the moment, because we are following the basic framework of how Apple apps and Android apps work and their standards, right now there is a way for Apple users. If I go back to more and then brand and share, and just go all the way to where we can select our colors here. I'm on an iPhone, that's why I can demonstrate. Whenever you're pressing one of those colored circles, see at the top, and again, that's only on iPhone, iPads, and iPods, anything that's Apple. See, there's two choices, wheel and then RGB. So you'd be able to switch to RGB and then enter the 3 numbers that correspond with the RGB code that is related to the color you would like to have.
I was going to say I'm a little lazy as well. What I might do is upload my logo and then use the eyedropper. I've helped a client with that. Upload your logo and then use the eyedropper to kind of grab those colors and move around from there. Because typically, aesthetically, you might want to pick those up. Right?
Yeah, the more precise you are and the fastest you can get to your color, the better. We have in our backlog we will try to add this to Android devices as well, if possible, whenever we can. So thanks for bearing with us, Android users. But you still have the means of selecting your color, even if it's not as precise at the moment. So don't let it stop you from setting your brand, right? Because that's definitely super important.